Este es un espacio patrocinado por T&BAO, la mejor oferta en nuestra ciudad en Denver, Colorado. Hello, baseball lover. Today we have an amazing interview with the big leaguer of Colorado Rockies, Brendan Rodgers. So it's an honor having you here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So I have to start this interview with you got, the Golden Glove in 22. What did it mean that in your career?
No, it's a huge honor. I would say it's one of the highest praised individual awards. It's not something you go out and your goal for the season is to win it, but you have your offensive stuff, you have your defensive stuff, you have your team stuff. So getting an individual award, such high praise as the Gold Glove, it's truly an honor. It's something I dreamed of as a kid, and you never know if you're going to get that opportunity. You got to stay healthy and do a bunch of things that pan out and go well. And it's truly an honor. So
did you do something special for receive that honor? The Golden Glove?
Yeah, no, just a lot of early work, a lot of extra work, a lot of basic fundamental stuff that sometimes as you get older you kind of maybe overlook, and it's definitely important to stay on top of your fundamentals, the routine stuff, because in a game you want to make the routine, and then you want to make the hard play also look routine if you can. So that's overall the goal, is just to fine tune my hands. It's almost like a cage routine hitting. It's warming the hands up, warming the eyes up, and I think it helped me. A lot of the drills I was doing helped help me win that Gold Glove.
Yeah. So and now do you think that you have more responsibilities, in your defense, or no? How do you see?
Yeah, no, I think, other than this year with me being hurt, I think it's definitely going to be a goal of mine to be, at least a top 3, second baseman in the league, and if not, number 1 for as long as I can. And that starts with preparation and routine and the fundamentals of infield, and I feel like I've done a good job with that. I've been hurt most of the season, and I've continued to stay on my fundamental stuff, and when I come back, I'll be ready to go.
Yeah. So you are the best second base, in MLB. So, but forget that, you have a great career, a lot of years and years. So about this, we're gonna talk right now. So when did you start to play baseball?
First, so I grew up, my whole family, everyone, mom's, dad's side, everyone was soccer players. So I grew up playing soccer at a very young age, probably 3 years old. I was, kicking the ball around. I played soccer till about 7 or 8 years old, and I picked up baseball right around age 6. I started playing, coach pitch and stuff, and then went on from there. 6 years old, yeah.
Well, when you played soccer, what position did you play? Do you remember, or is too kid?
No, actually, I was a goalie. I kind of played everywhere, but I do remember specifically playing goalie as a kid, and obviously I was able to score some goals too, but I do remember I played basketball too, so a lot of hand stuff that, I was a bigger kid as a young kid, and, I was good with my hands, so they were like, stick him at goalie.
Well, it's something similar because, so you have to stop the ball. Right now you have to stop the ball in second base, you are a wall.
I know, it's a lot of the same stuff, for sure. It's exactly it. You don't want the ball to get by you. You want to make the play, get the out, not allow them to advance the ball or score. So it's very, very similar.
Yeah. So, and why did you start to play baseball?
I had a friend in the neighborhood who I grew up, we went to preschool, elementary school, and then, so in elementary school, we would always hang out after school, ride our bikes, throw the football, do a bunch of kid stuff, and then he was a baseball player, and his dad had a batting cage in their backyard, and I would just go over there some days and start, messing around, swinging the bat, and then my friend's dad told my dad that, I had some, at a young age, he saw some, bat speed, good hand-eye coordination, and it was pretty much the dad, reaching out, maybe telling my dad, like, hey, maybe have him start playing baseball, play on my team, and then now we're here. You know, it goes quick for sure, you know, but I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Yeah. So when you were a kid, you play with another kid that now they are big leaguer too. You know, it's amazing history, you know, because to get one big leaguer in a city is so hard. Imagine 2 and 3. So can you tell us about that history?
Sure. Yeah, I grew up playing with Bo Bichette, Nick Gordon, D. Gordon. But I mean, there's a lot of talent coming out of the area, Orlando, even inside, outside Orlando, throughout Florida. There's a lot of talent, you know. But it is cool and interesting to see how many guys specifically come out of that Orlando area. You know, there's Ryan Mountcastle for the Orioles, who's Orlando. There's Vaughn Grissom, same high school, Braves. And then, you know, there's a handful of other guys. You know, Nick Fortes, I grew up playing travel ball with him. He's with the Marlins. Another pitcher, Cole Sands, was with the Twins. So there's a handful of guys in the league that I've definitely, you know, played with and against throughout, you know, my whole career. So it's definitely cool to, you know, expose yourself to, you know, ex-big leaguer, you know, their parents, and you know, just to learn at a young age, you know, what's right and what's wrong, how to play the game right, you know, play it hard. And so it's definitely interesting to see, you know, how far we've all come, and a lot of us are, you know, in the big leagues now. It's cool to see.
So, you know, when I was listening your history, I was thinking about, you know, the destiny. So do you think in the destiny?
Yeah, no, it's I think it all pans out at the end of the day. You know, this is something I've wanted to do from 6 years old. You know, my mom still has stuff from kindergarten, first, second grade, where I would write, what do you want to be when you're, you know, grow up? I play professional baseball. You know, I never wanted to really be anything else. At about age 14, I really cut out everything else, focused on baseball, and then that's about the age where it started to take off. You know, for 15 years old, I was starting to get some college looks, and then, you know, it all panned out, and, you know, I'm in the big leagues, living the dream right now.
So when you start to play, what position you played?
So I think I remember playing a little shortstop. I remember catching, and I pitched a little bit, but from, I'd say, age 8 or 9, I was predominantly shortstop. Would play a little bit of outfield. I had a good arm, but mostly shortstop throughout my whole life. And then when I got to the big leagues is when I moved over to second base after shoulder surgery.
So, how was the process for you being a professional player?
Yeah, a lot goes into it. You think in the minor leagues, you know, you're grinding your butt off to get here, and, you know, it takes a lot of work in the minors, but you don't have all the responsibilities and resources that you have in the big leagues. So, you know, the overall goal is to get out of the minor leagues and come here and, you know, live the dream and get the best food, the best, you know, nutrition, the workouts, everything up here. It's almost, you got to work harder, you know. And I've told a lot of young guys that are in the minors with us and that I'm close with that it's just as important to get your work in the minor leagues, because when you get to the big leagues, you almost have to work more and more harder, and, you know, a lot more goes into a big league game.
So, you know, I'm thinking you were born in Orlando, you know, Central Florida. You know, it's hot weather, you know. So how was your adaptation? Because you play in Hartford, Connecticut. You play here in Colorado. How is the weather for you? You know.
It's definitely different, you know. It's dry. I have a hard time breaking a sweat, not in the summertime, but early in the season and later in the season. It's like, you know, you're huffing and puffing, but you're not sweating. It's definitely being used to Florida and the humidity, and I walk outside after a shower and I start sweating. So it's a lot different than here, you know, but I think I've adapted pretty well. You know, you got to really hydrate, really take care of your body. Those are a few things that I've gotten a lot better at over the years is just, you know, keeping your eating properly, you know, hydrating properly, and doing all the right things to recover to be ready to perform every night.
And how different is to play in the altitude? You know, so how different is?
Yeah, you know, running the bases is a lot. You know, you hit a double and you're kind of gassed, but I just it is very true about how the ball moves here, you know, so fastballs almost seem like they get on you a little more because the altitude is almost taking the break away, so it almost feels like it gets on you. And then with off speed, like curveballs and sliders, they almost feel like they're not as sharp because they don't have that humidity, you know, grabbing down on it. So it is a little different hitting here, and then obviously going on the road, I think it's really important to hit machine and be out on the field and see how different the ball moves away from home, you know, because we're so used to here and how, you know, the ball moves, and then when you go to, you know, anywhere else other than here, you have to deal with, you know, more movement, the sharper breaking balls, and, you know, things like that.
So, you know, you played all your minor league career in Rockies teams. So how true is, you know, in Albuquerque help with the altitude?
Yeah, no, definitely it's a fun place to hit. You know, it's not as high as Denver, I don't think. It's still pretty high, but it's dry there. It's really hot. You know, you get some bad rain and bad weather, but, you know, I wasn't there too long. I played like 30 games in 18, and then I played another probably 30 or 40 in 19, and then I got called up. So it definitely helped me get prepared, you know, but I think playing here is another next level of like altitude, and you know, yeah.
So now I'm gonna ask you about some special days in your career. Please, can you tell us about your memories? You know, so how was your draft? You know, the draft process.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, being 18 years old, coming out of high school. I actually went to the draft. It was in New York at the time. Went to the draft. You know, I had a feeling I was gonna go top 5 picks. Didn't really have a number dialed in. You know, we knew the Rockies were at 3 and they were interested. We knew the Astros were 2 and 5 that year, so they were also, you know, pretty interested. And then I did a few workouts for the top couple teams, and you know, it was awesome to hear, you know, hearing your name called with, you know, being my mom and dad were there, and then I had a whole probably 15-20 other family members there kind of in the back. You know, it was cool to see, you know, everyone be there for me and just like cheering me on. And yeah, it's a picture perfect memory that I'll never forget, for sure.
So what memories about your debut in MLB?
Yeah, debut was all right, you know, no hits, but I had some good. I had a line drive out, I had a strikeout, and I think I had 2 pop outs. But you know, the debut, I mean, I had probably 40 people here in the stands in Philly. We were in Philadelphia. I definitely remember the way my legs felt, you know, walking into the batter's box. They felt a little shaky, a little heavy. You know, I felt like, not do I belong here, but like, man, am I ready? You know, am I ready for all this? And then I do remember the announcer in Philadelphia. He calls my name when I go to hit, and he says, making his major league debut, and we're in Philadelphia, the whole stadium starts booing me. And it was a loud boo, and I kind of had a little grin and a smile on my face, you know, and that honestly kind of loosened me up, because, you know, these fans pay attention. They don't care if you're a 10-year vet or a rookie. They're gonna show you how they feel. So it was a fun debut. The next day, I ended up getting my first hit out of the way, so it was a big relief. And then yeah, now we're here.
So what about your first hit?
First hit, it was off Aaron Nola. It was a little, like a swinging chopper bunt to third, and he kind of had to come in and charge it, and I ended up beating it out. They actually reviewed the call at first. It was so close, but I ended up beating it out, and that was my first hit. So nothing special, just a little chopper, but I would say the first homer is something I'll never forget too. It took me a little while, but hitting that here at home, you know, in front of my family and stuff was also a really awesome experience.
So, what about your first home run?
Yeah, it was against the Marlins. It was against a pitcher that I have faced a few times in the past in the minor leagues and like the futures games and stuff. And it was a pinch hit. I came in to pinch hit, and I got a first pitch fastball that I was looking for, and ended up hitting it out to center field, hitting the top of the wall and bouncing over. But a homer's a homer. I'll take as many as I can get. But yeah, it was awesome.
So now your fans want to know a little bit about your personality. What is your hobby?
Yeah, I mean, I live in Florida, so when I get home in the off season, it's a lot of fishing, a lot of, you know, being out on the water with my family. You know, that's all my family's in Florida, so we all meet up. We have some good times, you know, on the water. Take the boats out, go offshore. Really, a lot of fishing, a lot of ping pong, golf. You know, I play quite a bit of golf. I'm not, you know, too great, but I enjoy getting out there and walking the course and getting sun and, you know, just being out with my boys and, you know, having a good time. So those are the few main things that I like to do. Nothing too crazy, but I just love being in Florida, being on the water, being close to the water, and, you know, it makes me feel at home. It makes me feel real far away from home when I'm here, you know, nowhere near the water. So
what is your favorite food?
Favorite food has to be steak, a nice medium rare steak. You know, I'm just gonna say steak for now. Yeah.
So favorite number and favorite color.
Okay, 7's got to be the favorite number right now. I've had some success. You know, I wore number 1 in travel ball. I wore number 3 in high school, but those numbers were taken when I got here. So I was like, I wanted a low number. I liked 5, but cargo, I can't take that number from cargo. So 7 was, you know, the next best option, and nothing wrong with 7. So 7's got to be my favorite color, and then I would say probably like a light blue, like a Carolina blue, or a, you know, kind of like your shirt, like yeah. I forgot my glove.
So, are you a superstitious player?
I would say a little bit. I stick with, if I'm hitting well, I'll stick with the same batting gloves or the same bats. I don't really go too crazy, to extent in what I do, but you know, if I have a really good game and I wore like something simple to the field outfit wise, I might wear that again the next day, just because it's got some hits in it. But I know I've heard of a lot of worse, you know, superstitions, so I'm glad I'm not too superstitious. But yeah.
So, my friend, thank you so much for your time. So, my last question is about, you know, so how is the process for your recovering of injury, and when do you think you can come back?
Yeah, no, recovery has been really good. I would say I'm a few weeks ahead of schedule. We're a little over 3 months now. It's a 4 to 6 month, you know, injury. You know, the goal is to be in a big league game in, you know, maybe mid to late August, but, you know, everything's got to go well. I got to feel confident in my swing and my game, and then we can go from there. But that's the overall goal is, you know, around that August time. Yeah.
So, wow, it's our honor having you here in this interview. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope for you the best in your career. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abel. Thank you.
Este es un espacio patrocinado por T&BAO, la mejor oferta en nuestra ciudad, en Denver, Colorado.
Soy el periodista Abel Flores, acreditado para cubrir el béisbol de Grandes Ligas desde Colorado para el mundo, y te invito a seguirme en mi cuenta Amantes del Béisbol 2021, donde encontrarás contenido exclusivo, entrevistas, informes, reportajes, comentarios exclusivos de nuestros peloteros Grandes Ligas de Venezuela, República Dominicana, México, Puerto Rico, Panamá. Un contenido exclusivo que no encontrarás en ninguna otra plataforma, ni en televisión, ni en radio, ni en prensa. No esperes el noticiero de la noche, no tienes que leer la noticia del día de ayer. En esta plataforma multimedia te brindamos toda la información. Amantes del béisbol 2021.
For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.